Dear colleagues, in this surgery we have two challenges. The cataract is intumescent and it has a very hard nucleus. I have taken up this case for surgery. Let us watch the surgical steps. By this time, the main incision and two paracentesis incisions have been made. Now I am going to stain the anterior capsule with trypan blue dye underneath this air bubble. If you inject dye underneath an air bubble, the undiluted dye stains the capsule within a very short time. If you don't use the air bubble, the dye gets diluted by aqueous. Here, the dye is sprayed over the anterior capsule and the air bubble presses the dye onto the anterior capsule. The dye is washed out with BSS and then viscoelastic substance, in this case HPMC, hydroxypropyl methyl cellulose, is injected into the anterior chamber. The anterior chamber is filled up with this viscoelastic substance. Now capsular rhexis is to be done, and I always do double rhexis. That is, a small rhexis first and then an optimum sized rhexis. A C-flap, some cortical matter comes out indicating high intralenticular pressure. A small rhexis is made at first. Never try to make a large rhexis at the first attempt. Now aspirate some lens matter, some cortical lens matter, either with this very simple thing, that is Simcoe cannula, or you can use bimanual IA to remove some cortical lens matter. Once the intralenticular pressure is reduced by aspirating some cortical lens matter, the case becomes very simple. The surgery becomes very simple. So you just have to inject some viscoelastic substance, make a nick at the margin of this small rhexis with a Vanna scissor, and now use a utrata forceps to enlarge this rhexis to an optimum sized one. I try to remain at equal distance all around from the margin of the dilated pupil, and thus I get a fairly round rhexis. You can try this, and I hope you can do a better rhexis than this one. Viscoelastic substance is injected, and now is the time to enter into the eye with the tip of the phaco handpiece, and I am going to do submarine chop in this case. The tip is totally buried into the substance of the nucleus, it advances towards the opposite equator, and then I chop it. When the tip is buried into the substance, that means I am at a deeper plane and chopping becomes easy. Yes, this is a hard nucleus and it has divided into two heminuclei. Now each heminucleus is divided again into two parts. Here it is. Go inside the nucleus, hold it very firmly and chop it. So we have divided the nucleus into four parts, almost equal parts. Now each quadrant is emulsified. See, I am attacking from the apex. I tilt each quadrant and I start emulsifying it from the apex of this triangular nuclear fragment. See, here it is. Let me center it. Yes, just tilt it and attack from the apex. Phaco power used in this case is 80%. Yes, 80. Vacuum used is 450 and flow rate is 45 ml per minute. This is Oatley Cataract 3 Phaco machine. And see, during the last fragment, I'm going to use PCP, posterior capsule protector. Goes behind and the fragments are emulsified. Otherwise, you can remove the chopper and do it single-handedly. Dear colleagues, we must be very passionate about developing our surgical skills. Wish not it were easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. As soon as you see small nuclear fragments, remove it before you remove the cortical matter, because otherwise these small nuclear fragments can get lost under the iris somewhere, and later on, after about 1 month or so, you can see the nuclear fragment at the 6 o'clock in the antechamber angle and overlying corneal decomposition of corneal endothelium. So we must be very careful in removing the small nuclear fragments. Now in this case, a hydrophilic acrylic intraocular lens is being implanted under irrigation. Yes. The leading haptic has gone into the capsular bag. Now the trailing haptic is being placed in the capsular bag by the irrigating probe itself. That's it. The case is done. Now just have to inject some antibiotic, and this is moxifloxacin. And now I hydrate the stroma at the paracentesis incisions so that these stab wounds become watertight. And then a final wash is given. This is final antechamber lavage, and during this time I remove the viscoelastic substance from the corneal endothelium. See, here it is. The viscoelastic substance from the corneal endothelium is removed. A lot of air bubbles were sticking there. That has also been flushed out. And now this is conclusion of the case. Thank you very much for your attention.